I'm in here in some natural cover right now, and I'm minding the decoys we have off to the right here. Dwight's went down to circle the pond. It's only a small pond. And with some luck, he may get a shot at some birds. Or at worse, he may flush some birds that may come up to this end of the pond, and I can get a shot at them as well.
Newfoundland Sportsman with Dwight Blackwood and Paul Amundsen. On today's show, Dwight and Paul will be going duck hunting at Thomas Pond, located just a few miles outside of St. John's. This pond is well known to local hunters because of its close proximity to St. John's and its many species of ducks. Plus part 2 of our segment on taxidermy with Andrew Barron, where we'll be looking at some of his work on waterfowl.
I always prefer heading up a pond or getting to my favorite gully for duck hunting just as daylight's starting to break.
When you shut off the motor and start paddling, you really appreciate the freedom and flexibility a canoe gives you. It's ideal for reaching those hard-to-get places.
Thomas's Pond is well known for its population of ducks. I think probably because of its close proximity to St. John's, believe it or not. We were up here first day of the season, and we saw, I would say, it had to be over 100 ducks. A lot of them was in the small cove that we just came into, and the reason for that, you've got a lot of this high grass, so it's extremely good cover for ducks, and the feed is quite good here as well. So we're going to get prepared now and lay out some decoys, which we brought with us. We got 8 or 9 decoys here. And hopefully the ducks will be flying over soon so we can get a few shots at them. I know you're looking forward to it.
I am too. I'm surprised that in St. John's there's so many ducks in every spot of water, no matter what the size of the pond, no matter where it's at in the city, blacked with ducks. And I guess this may be a spin-off from town. There seem to be so many in town, they seem to be coming out this way as well.
That's a good reason. A lot of the ducks in St. John's will winter over, particularly the black ducks. And as a consequence, when they winter over, they stay there early in the spring. They breed. Some ducks might even have 2 broods. And obviously, any areas that are surrounding St. John's, you're going to find healthy populations of ducks.
When we came up this morning, we saw about 9 or 10 birds.
Yeah.
And most of those were green-winged teals.
Yeah.
And you were saying that you're up the last couple of days, and predominantly that's the duck that's in this water.
Yeah, we saw quite a few, particularly on opening day, and the majority of those by far were green-winged teals. Now, that was interspersed with black ducks as well.
Now, we don't have any decoys that looks like a green-winged teal.
No, there's a couple reasons for that. There aren't any in St. John's to buy, or any around Newfoundland that I've seen. Plus, the main thing with decoys is not so much that it resembles exactly the bird, the type of duck you're after. The main thing with decoys is that they resemble ducks, because you've got other ducks flying overhead. When they look down, they say, "Oh my, there's ducks in the water." So consequently, they think 2 things. They think it's a safe haven, it's a good spot to actually go down. There's nothing around bothering these other ducks, and they also figure it's a good feeding area.
So they will flock together, the different breeds. Doesn't matter if it's a black duck or a mallard or a teal or whatever.
I've seen it numerous times where you've got 4 or 5 different species of ducks all in the same one area. As a matter of fact, the mallard, he breeds with other ducks. He's not a guy that sticks to his own kind. Now, I don't know if he'd go after a green-winged teal because he's about 4 times the size, but he will breed with black ducks, he will breed with eiders, he will breed with other species.
A bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. And if we set all these decoys up now, and then we'll hide away in the bushes here. I'll get some camouflage netting that we'll put on the canoe. This is the last boat. See if we can fix that sick one. Huh? Right over there. Look. Open my window. Yeah, that way we can just flip it up. Good looking gear this is. I'm gonna knit. What do they call it? They have.
I don't know if you sound like a duck in heat or an injured duck.
That was a teal duck too. Same problem we saw earlier, green teal.
So I guess we just wait now.
We just wait. Reminds you of salmon fishing, doesn't it? Well, we're in a good location here. You've got tall grass, anywhere from 2 to 3 feet high. It's all interspersed with water. It's a great hiding area for ducks. I think they breed up here as well.
Well, we're well camouflaged anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you that.
A little bit uncomfortable, but we're
You know-
well camouflaged.
You know, I was just thinking earlier as we were setting up here. Myself and you have sat in boats like this for an awful long time over the years.
Must be 20 years we go back.
Either
And we've
fishing-
spent, I say, 10 of those in a boat in one form or another.
Yeah.
You've done a bit of skeet shooting over the years.
I've done more skeet shooting than duck hunting or whatever, but I think it goes well with it because I think it gives you training. You know, I mean, although with the skeet you know the path it's going to come most of the time, but it gives you lead time and all of this kind of stuff. So I think that will set well with getting some birds as well.
Some ducks, particularly the smaller ducks like a green-winged teal, they're extremely fast flyers. Actually, the green-winged teal is the fastest duck flyer of all, and they resemble shorebirds when they're in their flight path. They don't just go on a straight line, nice and smooth. I mean, they dip, they dive, they do it all. So you've got to be pretty quick with the gun and know how to lead.
Yeah.
When you're shooting those types of ducks. A larger duck now, like a black duck or a mallard duck, you've got a more even flight path. They fly fairly fast, nothing close to a green-winged teal, but at least you can predict their flight path.
They must be easier to
readily.
lead on then, I guess.
They are.
Much like the skeet.
Yeah.
Now, of course, when we're here, we're waiting for them to land. Right. So I guess you got to water spread the wings. I guess they're open and perhaps easier to hit it.
The best time to shoot a duck is when he's about to land. Not after he lands, but when he's about to land. So you've got their wings spread, so you've got a larger target. And if you're at the appropriate distance, you've got good shot spread, you're going to be much more successful.
Now, I was surprised when you told me that we'd shoot at the ducks as they're landing.
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd let them land, give you time to get set up, and then stand up and shoot them as they fly away.
Ducks, more often than not, when they come close to decoys, in a lot of cases, not all cases, but in a lot of cases, they know they're decoys when they're 6, 8 feet away. So consequently, they're not always going to land. I mean, they'll start to come down, start spreading their wings, and then all of a sudden they'll take off again. So
if you wait, you're going to lose your shot.
make the most of your opportunities. When they've got their wings spread about to land, that's when you fire.
I can't imagine myself having that much pace in the wait for them to come down anyway. I'd probably start shooting as soon as I see them landing anyway.
Time now for Newfoundland Sportsman's Tip of the Week.
Over the years, I've duck hunted with a lot of different hunting partners. We've often been in situations where we were hid away in a blind. You see 1, 2, maybe more ducks come in. We put the guns up, fired at them. Next thing I hear my partner say, "I don't believe it. I had the bead right on the duck and I missed it." That's mistake number 1. Ducks fly at fast speeds, and in order to be successful at duck hunting, you have to use a technique called leading. Now, for those of you who are seasoned veterans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those of you who are new at the sport, here are some of the basics you need to know about leading. When you see ducks flying, it's important to aim, but have the bead of your shotgun slightly ahead of the duck. Now, this will vary depending on distance and speed, but as you lead and fire, the idea is for your shotgun pellets and the duck to reach the same area at the same time. So remember, take careful aim at the bird and then adjust your sight so that your actual aim is slightly ahead of it. Then follow its flight path so that you fire at the moment that you feel is right for impact. So, for you novices out there, try this technique on your next hunting trip, or maybe even on the skeet range, and you'll begin to see results. But remember, it takes lots of practice. Comfortable now that we got this repositioned. At least it's off our backs. Something like you're in a tent.
Yeah, this is a much better setup we got here now.
Most of the ducks are going to be flying in from this direction anyway, so we're well camouflaged in the rear.
Yeah.
Those decoys we got out there, you know, they're so lifelike in the water, especially if there's a bit of wind on the go and you get a little rolling waves. A nephew of mine was up duck hunting there some years ago, and he came to this gully. And when he looked out, here were six black ducks, so he thought they were black ducks. So he said, "Gee, I got down on my belly," he said, "and I crawled, and he was crawling through marsh and everything. So finally he got close enough to fire. So he said, when I realized I was that close, I jumped up. Bang, bang, bang. He said, the ducks didn't move. 6 decoys in the water.
So I reloaded. Shot again.
A bit tough deep. And he said there was a guy there hiding away, of course, and he didn't see this guy, and neither did the other hunter see him. But he was in stitches laughing after he fired, even though he put a lot of holes in the decoys.
Yeah.
You know, that happens so often. I've heard lots of stories of people going up shooting decoys thinking they were the real thing.
Well, like we were saying about safety thing, I mean, we've got decoys out and we're camouflaged. You want to keep an eye out, make sure there's no hunters around it.
Maybe you can go and wave your hands or quack or whatever.
That's it. They'll hear the gunplay in a second.
I really enjoy hunting, but taxidermy adds an awful lot to it because you go out in the field and you get something that you don't run across every day, and you get a chance to collect it. Then you bring it home and you make a mount of it, and people can come by and look at it and admire it. It's there forever. Like it's never going to go away. Like some of the species, I got one species there now that's on the endangered list, and I'm not going to get a chance to hunt it anymore, and I don't think anybody else is. And if that becomes extinct, well, I got it there forever.
We've got a nice collection here. Can you run me down some of the names of these guys? I have never seen this before.
And this is an African pygmy goose. I got that from a fella in Ottawa, Ontario.
Now this is a cute guy. This guy is. Who's he?
This is a ruddy duck. Came from British Columbia. My brother brought it home to me last fall. They can't stand under. They can't walk. They can stand a little bit, but their feet are placed so far back, their legs are so far back that they
fall ahead.
Yeah, they're almost like a loon. The only duck that can't walk well on land.
Excellent. Now this guy, who's he?
That's a green-winged teal.
Okay.
That also came from British Columbia. Now they're the smallest duck in North America, the green-winged teal, but this one is a little bit bigger than the western race. Is a little bit bigger than the eastern race. So this is a little bit bigger than the ones we get in Newfoundland. Okay, this is a versicolor teal. It's from Argentina.
Colourful beak.
Yeah, this is the hen mud duck. Drake is a lot more colourful than the hen, but that's the most colourful of female ducks. It's got the one with the most colour in it. This is the hooded merganser.
Now that's an interesting guy.
Yeah, that was taken in Colonnade. It's, they're accidental in Newfoundland, but
I was going to say, I didn't realise we had him here in
it's the
Newfoundland.
female hooded merganser. We do get a scatter one passing through, not that often.
He has the crest,
Yeah, they're a beautiful duck.
doesn't he?
Our old favourite,
Yes.
black duck.
Yeah.
It's the female black duck. They're the most common in Newfoundland, let alone say eastern Canada. Up here we got the Drake mallard. That came from British Columbia. We're getting they're starting to get plentiful in eastern Canada, but they say within the next 50 years that the mallard is going to overrun the black duck. There's going to be no black duck because of interbreeding.
Oh.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of the black ducks you get now are hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
That's from interbreeding with the mallard.
Really?
Yeah.
They've got a beautiful coloured head.
Oh yeah, it's a pity that they're domestic. There's so many domestic mallards because they are one of the most beautiful. But people don't think of them of being beautiful because there's so many of them around. So many domestic ducks.
That's a beautiful coloured head.
Exactly. This one up here is the female common eider. They're the most common duck in wintertime off our coast, but they're taking a beating lately with the oil spills and over hunting in the spring.
Like I said earlier, I'd seen some of your work at the nature park, Salmon Nature Park, but I didn't realise you had such a collection here at home. This is a beautiful collection. You do some excellent work, I must say.
And thanks, Paul. I'm glad to show it to you. It's really now that, really starting to look alive, but I still got a long way to go, before I'm perfect at it. But you'll never be perfect, because if you get perfect, that's the time you give it up, because you got nothing else to strive for anyway.
We decided it was time to leave the blind and check out some gullies on the side of the pond that Dwight had some luck in a few days earlier.
Ducks have very acute hearing, so you have to be extremely quiet when approaching them. What a great spot. This is what you call a typical Newfoundland gully. It's ideal to see any species of duck. Black ducks primarily like areas like this. I was fortunate enough to come here the other night. There was 5 or 6 here in this corner, and they flew up. And when they flew up, I shot. I just fired one shot, and I managed to get one just above that tree line. Not here this morning.
No.
There's a few more gullies similar to this around this area. I will take it out around, scout those out as well.
Geez, not bad. Butch had each.
Way to go.
One by that dead tree there, and one by the dead tree there. Farther in the woods, I think. Trying to get a bit of rain, I think.
I got one.
What is it?
Teal, screaming teal. Where's the other one?
I think it's either by that tree, that old tree or burnt tree, whatever you call it, dead tree, or behind it a bit.
Oh, got it.
Oh, I thought he was in farther than that.
Aha. Good shooting, buddy.
I thought he was in by the trees.
For the outdoor enthusiast, Newfoundland and Labrador offers excitement second to none, and the Newfoundland Sportsman magazine brings that excitement home to you. Subscribe now and begin enjoying interesting and informative features with exceptional photography, focusing on every aspect of our great outdoors. Order now and receive 6 issues a year for the low price of only $21.35. Or subscribe for 2 years and get 12 issues for only $38.04 and save 25% off newsstand prices. The Newfoundland Sportsman Magazine. Outdoors at its best.
All in all, it was a great day. With 2 ducks in the bag and a few hours of daylight still left, I was content to stay in the blind, while Dwight, never one to quit, went out to scour the shoreline.
Quit, you say? No way, buddy. Not while ducks are still flying. We've got our decoys set out and we're ready for some ducks. Now when the ducks are not flying close to you, everybody needs a good duck call.
Yeah, ducky, 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 ducky.
Come on, over here, look. Oh, he's just gone over here. Over here. Here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
He just went up through this way. He was very close that time. They lost him for a second, then they picked him up again, but they just cut past here. We saw the dogs. You get one, look, look.
Yeah, bingo, bingo.
Bingo.